Hi Year 6, this is your lesson for this week's art. So this piece of work looks complicated, but I'm going to show you how to do it step by step so you will be able to create something that looks a bit like this, but it will be your own unique piece and you'll be able to create something beautiful. So this piece of work has been inspired by Islamic art. So I know in your RE lessons you're learning about Islam. And in the religion of Islam, they are not allowed to use pictures of people or animals within their art in the mosques. If you go into a church, you will see that there are statues and paintings and lots of paintings of saints and people. But in a mosque, there are no paintings of people. So they need to decorate the mosque in a really interesting way. And one of the things that they use is patterns. And a lot of their patterns have got radial symmetry in them. And that's where each section mirrors the next section. So you start with one section and then create the next section the same and the next section the same. And you build up a complicated pattern. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to create a radial symmetry design. This is an Islamic design. So you can see it starts in the middle with a star and it builds up. Each of the sections are all the same, but it's made up of very simple shapes and colours. And here's another one. So again, it looks complicated, but each section is quite simple. So I'm going to go through with you step by step how to do it. And the lesson is going to be using copy paper, pencil and colour pencils. But if you do have some tracing paper in the house, you can start by doing your design on tracing paper and trace through to the other side. You will understand more what I mean when I go through the rest of the lesson with you. So to start your Islamic inspired rotational symmetry design, that's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? You need to start off by making your copy paper into a square. And the easiest way to do that is to go from this corner here, fold it into a triangle. Before you press down, just check that you've got the corner in the corner. You don't have to do this perfectly, but just try it and get it as neat as possible. And then cut the top bit off. Don't waste the top bit because you can use that for drawing or for collage or for all sorts of things. Put that to one side. So now you've got a triangle, which has got equal size because it's a square. Fold it over again the second time and press down. Then when you open it out, you've got 4 sections. Now you're going to draw your design into one of the sections and then we're going to trace it to create the design in all 4 so it goes around in a rotational symmetry way. So to start, I'm going to start by, you need quite a sharp pencil and you need to press fairly hard. So I'm going to do something like this. So think about all the different types of lines that you know. So there I've done a wavy line and I'm going to do another wavy line on top of it. Then I'm just going to do a curved line over that. And I think I'll do a zigzag line on there. And another curved line over the top of that. Then I think I might do a line that looks a bit like the top of a castle. And that's called a crenellated line. So it goes across, up, across, down to create that line. And I've done it halfway along there, so when we trace it, it will make it complete when we trace that bit over. You'll see when we come to do it. Then I'm going to do another curved line over the top of that. So I'm building up a series of shapes. So this time I think I might do like joined up O's. You can actually think about using letter shapes. Might be quite fun to put your name in and see what happens when you make it with rotational symmetry. Then, so just don't spend ages thinking about what lines to do. Just do what feels comfortable and right, and just build up the shapes. Okay, I'm just going to put you on fast forward while I finish this off. So now that the first section of my design is complete, I'm going to fold it so that the design is on the top. So along the lines that we folded it in the beginning, but just checking to make sure that we've got the edge of the design. So the back of the work, or what will be the back of your work, is inside, and your design is there on the top. And then we're going to take it over to a window and use the window as a light box so we can trace the design onto the next quarter. So the light from the window helps you to see the design that you've created. Take your time drawing over it. This might be more difficult to do if it was a dull rainy day. Keep pressing it down so that the paper that you're drawing on touches the design behind. Okay, I'm going to put you on fast forward now while I finish this bit off. Okay, so I've now traced the second quarter of the design. As you might have noticed, not everything's matched up exactly, but when we've finished, we can fix that and sort out any anomalies. It's quite hard to see the pencil line underneath the window when you're tracing. So if you've got a darker pencil, that will be better, or press quite hard when you do your first one, and that'll help you to see for the second one. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to fold along the fold again. My triangle shape. So remember, I've got the back part folded inside, and this is the front. And then I'm going to turn it over, and I can trace the full half now on the window. Your arms might start to ache when you're halfway through, so have a little rest and then go back to it. But I'm going to do that now, and I'm going to put you on fast forward to do that. So I've got my design now. I've traced all 4 sections on the window. There's a few areas where it's gone a little bit wrong because I couldn't see properly, but that's fine. I'll just fix them now to make them look as if they're joined together. And there. So just look around and check your design and see if that bit there is a bit off. So just connect the lines so that it'll look like the follow through. And your next step is to start to add colour. That's gone a bit wrong there, hasn't it? I'm going to join that into there. Start to add colour to your design, but remembering all the time that you are creating a symmetrical design. So whatever you colour in one section, you need to colour the same part of the design, the same colour in the other section. So you can use colour pencils, you can use felt tips, you could use Sharpies if you've got Sharpies. But remember, if you're using Sharpies, you need to put something behind your work because it will go through onto the surface that you're working on. Okay, so I'm going to start by colouring the middle because that's easy. I don't need to worry about that being symmetrical because it's the same on all 4. And then I might go into this bit. Okay, I'll put you on fast forward while I work on this. So as you can see, colouring it in takes quite a while. You need to be patient. But a couple of quick tips. So if you're using a dark colour, you might have noticed on the time lapse that I go around the lines first before I colour it in. And once you've coloured one section in a dark colour, if you use a lighter colour, you can actually go over the top, so you don't need to colour in nearly as carefully. You can't do this, you can't go over the top of a light colour with a dark colour, but you can go over the top of a dark colour with a light colour. So you need to think about that. Think about your design as well. Think about the colours that you're putting together, what works well. So I've started off by just using warm colours in the centre, and as I'm moving outwards, I'm moving into cooler colours. And the darkest colour that you use in your design, that will be the section that stands out the most. So in my design at the moment, the dark blue is the darkest colour. And as you can see, that's standing out the most. So I need to balance that out by doing some more dark colours further up. So I'm not going to spend any more time colouring in because I want you to get on with doing your design. But a couple of things that I want to say is, once you've coloured your design, you might want certain areas to stand out a little bit more, and you can do that by using a black felt tip pen if you've got one, to just go around certain sections so that it just stands out a bit better. So this is a lesson that requires patience, takes time, but it teaches you quite a number of skills. It teaches you about symmetry. It teaches you to think about Islamic design and often what's called mandalas, which are used also in Buddhism and other religions, about mindfulness and thinking about taking your time to create a really nice piece of artwork. It also teaches you about tracing. So by folding your paper up carefully and putting it on the window and letting the light come through, you can trace your design. So you can start off with something that's quite simple and it then becomes really complex. And once you've got the idea, you can try it with all sorts of different things to create multiple images of the same thing by tracing over. So I really hope you enjoy creating your radial symmetry, Islamic inspired design.